She's the biggest chameleon. What I love about Kangana is that she, every little different thing you do to her, she looks like a different person. She kept everything very much on the wraps. So she calls me to her home one day and says, oh, I need you to come to, we're doing a music video in Switzerland. This was the very next day we were flying to Tuscany. And I had no idea we were even to Tuscany.
Welcome to BTS Stars with midday.com. And we are very happy to have celebrity hairstylist Gabriel Georgiou with us today. And he's in charge of the fantastic hairdos you see on Deepika Padukone, Kangana Ranaut, Tamanna Bhatia, and many, many other stars. So first, let's start with your journey. So how did celebrity hairstyling fascinate you?
Actually, it's a really bizarre story because I only liked fashion. You know, I became a hairstylist because I loved fashion. For me, it was always about being creative and doing, you know, what attracted me was like magazine covers and fashion and even film, you know, amazing things in film and music videos when I was growing up in the 80s, you know, and all that sort of stuff. So for me, it was all about fashion, and I wasn't interested in celebrities, to be quite honest, and I didn't like advertising either. I was like, no. But, you know, it's funny how everything that I don't want, that's what came to me.
Okay.
and and it just happened naturally. I never, you know, pursued it or anything. And just the journey through doing fashion work and doing a lot of editorial and doing all that stuff, then, you know, celebrities started booking me because obviously working in India as well, overseas as well, but especially India, you know, you connect with celebrities and then they like your work, they like the way you make them look. Now I want you to do my advertising, and now I want you to do my films, and now I want you to do this and that. And before you know it, you're working, you know, pretty much with celebrities all the time. And at the end of the day, I mean, you know, when it comes to our profession and making, which a lot of people don't like talking about, but I mean, come on, we have to make money and we have to live. The money is in advertising. And in India, it is with celebrity work. So it just happened naturally. And that's the journey, you know.
And do you remember your first day on an Indian film set? And what was it like?
My first film in India was working with Katrina Kaif for Jab Tak Hai Jaan.
Okay.
And that was in 2012, I believe. She booked me for more than 20 days in London and Ladakh. So I did that schedule. It was tough. Long hours, you know, little sleep. Continuity is very tricky with films.
Yeah.
You know, hair moves all the time. So it's a tricky medium. You know, makeup is, I feel, a lot easier at times. Of course, it depends on a lot. The hair needs to look the same, especially with continuity or as close as possible. You know, you've got environmental factors, you know, within 5 minutes, it could be wind blowing or raining or, you know, humidity, hair's dropped, this and that and the other. Actresses move all the time. It's moving. Film is moving. It's not stills. You know, she'll move, the hair moves. Then you've got to, place it in the same position. So it's hard work. You're continually like monitor set. You know, it's tough work, but it's great. If you enjoy it, it's great.
And of course, you have also done some fantastic work with Deepika Padukone. So some lovely looks there. So what would you say was your most challenging project with her?
I mean, you know, when I first started with Deepika, she was, she only had a couple of looks which she did. She wasn't very experimental or very open to things. So I'm talking about like, you know, 12 years ago. It's a long time. So I was like, listen, you don't have to always do this or use extensions or have volume or just do this, you know, this puff thing, or, you know, you can have flat hair. You're so gorgeous. You know, I saw her as a supermodel. She's gorgeous. I was like, you know, let's do this. Let's do slick flat hair. Let's do mid part. Let's do waves. Let's do this. Let's do that. You know, I pushed quite a bit, and, you know, she was open, but, you know, a bit mindful, but eventually we connected really well, and then she started experimenting and trying different things, and the more she started doing things, the more she liked it and got used to it, and then before you know it, bang, we created a lot of different styles, and she was more willing to experiment. Like, for instance, the Met Gala, where she wore Zach Bozen and we did that huge big Barbie girl hair, and she was open to it. She was like, okay, let's do it, and I think that's fantastic.
And also the Deepika's look, where you gave her Frida Kahlo's look, of course, that was also a look that was much talked about.
She's the one that actually wanted the roses in her hair and passed them on, and I was like, okay, great. And so we did the braid and we did the whole look, and then we placed all the roses, and it looked amazing. And yeah, she looked fantastic. I loved that look. That was one of my favorite looks too.
You have been part of some of the leading global events. What is always in your emergency kit? That last minute issues that happen, I'm sure.
Sometimes because I have a huge kit anyway, so I bring a lot of stuff along. So sometimes you're prepped and you've got a lot of stuff. Sometimes you're not. And, sometimes, the styling, the stylist might save you by having something, that can be used as an accessory for the hair, or someone may run and get something, or, it's a fun situation. You've got to like go with the flow, and, it can be quite chaotic, and sometimes you're very much under pressure, but sometimes it all depends on the team and, the connection you have with people, and, but most of the time it's fun, and it's pressure, but you enjoy it.
And besides red carpet, of course, we can't ignore celebrity weddings. And Anushka Sharma, of course, received a lot of love for her look. So what went into that?
Actually, it was very funny. I have a nice story with that, because she kept everything very much on the wraps.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know she was getting married. So she calls me to her home one day and says, I need you to come to, we're doing a music video in Switzerland. And I want you to organize my hair extensions for that, or whatever. And I went to discuss hairstyles and this and that and the other. This was the very next day we were flying to Tuscany. And I had no idea we were even to Tuscany. So she said, by the end of the meeting, she said, Gabby, it's for my wedding and you can't tell anybody. And I went, what? She goes, I said, are you kidding me? I said, you had me fooled all this time. And I said, okay, but I said, what am I going to wear? The first thing I thought is, what am I going to wear? I was like, what about your wedding? It's like, what am I going to wear? So we were having a good laugh, and it was very funny. And I mean, the girls fully trust me. We have that kind of relationship. So a lot of the times, as I said, we create. So when we went there, when she did when we saw the outfit and everything, and the stylist, Alia Rufai, who did her styling, she had ordered these beautiful flowers, and I was like, oh, beautiful. And I said, she said, let's do it. And I said, yep, we'll use it in her hair. And then, and so, but it wasn't something that I'd done before. It was like created on the spot. Yeah, I just started, I did her hair and I started placing the flowers, and I created that beautiful flower bouquet bun in the back. And I was like, this is it, beautiful. You've got to know when to stop. You've got to know how it all works, whether it doesn't. Anyway, it was created on the spot and it looked amazing. And we were like, wow, this is it. And amazing how it just took off like a storm. It became the next big wedding fashion thing, It was
Absolutely.
Like huge.
And another actress who you have worked with and she's known for experimenting is, of course, Kangana Ranaut. So how is it working with her?
She's the biggest chameleon. What I love about Kangana is that she, every little different thing you do to her, she looks like a different person.
True.
She transforms. She carries it off well, and she gets into that zone of character, whether it's an acting part or whether it's just a fashion statement. She's pretty great. She's like, yeah, she'll get, what do you think I'm wearing this? And I'll be like, well, I like this. She goes, yeah, okay, I like this. Let's do it. She's just so open. She really is. And I don't think I've ever done so many different styles on an actress ever before as Kangana. I mean, from the film that I recently did with her, music video I recently did with her, to all the lock-up looks, to actually every look that I've ever done with her for either magazines or events, It's always been a different look, always.
And any advice you would give to budding hairstylists?
It's hard work. It takes hard work. And it's not as glamorous as what people imagine. I mean, yeah, it's great. Oh, he works with such and such, or, travels the world, or does this or does that, whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's taken me a long time to get where I'm at. It's taken a long time and hard work and difficult times as well. It's not just, you're there and you're doing all the stars and you're doing everything and you're making that kind of money and it takes it's a journey. Be prepared to be humble, be prepared to work hard, be a trustworthy, good person. Talent, plays a big role, and creativity. And I think get inspired. I mean, what I used to do is I used to read a lot of fashion magazines, watch a lot of film as well. So I used to always be inspired by images. Great photographers or great hairstylists or great makeup artists. I still follow a lot of them on Instagram because it's all inspiration. I'm 52 years old. I've been working in the industry for a very long time, more than 30 years, and experienced so many different things. And I'm continually learning, the looks that I will create on a next film, or, how to handle something in a specific environment. There's always something, and you've just got to be prepared for it and open for it, and deal with something the best way you can. Be a good person. Work hard. Don't get wrapped up in this, bubble that you create around you of this superficial glamour world, because that's not reality. People get lost in it many times, and that's where the downfall comes, because it can be quite destructive. I really loved her look in Cannes. We did the really high pony with leather base. She looked absolutely striking, with that under eyeliner, and she was a standout. I mean, it was like everyone was just like, she looked phenomenal. So that was quite a striking look. Katrina's probably the least experimental, I would say, out of all the girls I work with. She doesn't hide it. She doesn't have an issue with it. She says, I'm not a model and I don't want to experiment. I just want to be comfortable. I know what suits me, and I'm, we can do variations of that. I have done bits and pieces, like for Harper's Bazaar once I did I did a couple of different things where, just tweaked the hair a little bit different than what she usually does. And she liked it, and she looked fantastic. And I think she's a beautiful girl. I think she can do a lot more with her looks. She has to feel comfortable enough to be more open to experimentation. But otherwise, she's a beautiful woman. Well, they all are, aren't they? Really. She's a fun girl. She's a lot of fun. She's a good girl. She's fun. She's a newer girl, but she's very open. She has no fear of saying, I don't know this or I don't know that. She has no insecurity. And, she's fun, young. She's open to experimentation. Stronger memory I have was when we were in Lake Como for the Ambani engagement, where I worked with her looks there. She's a crazy ball of energy. She's go, 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 go. I don't know where she gets her energy from. But she's a lot of fun, very bubbly personality, very quite an extrovert. At times, it's kind of like, I feel like hard to keep up with her, at times, but she's great. 2 favorite covers I've done with her ever was for GQ India and for Bazaar India. I think in both those stories, she just looked phenomenal, and 2 of my favorites.
All right. It was lovely having you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.